There we are. Hey, good morning, good morning. Perfect day for a talk about failure because I tried to get on here live for the last 5 minutes. Anyway, welcome to the Daily Dose. I'll give you a moment or two. If you're coming on live, grab your coffee. Take a sip, let the coffee go. See, that's the coffee vein. It goes right to the mind right there. I drink it, it goes right in. That's the coffee vein. If you didn't know that vein right there, that's the coffee vein. So the caffeine goes right there. When you come on here live, give me a little thumbs up, give me a hello. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for checking this out later. That's time's more convenient for you. Don't forget, again, get your coffee. Make sure that coffee is direct line right there. That's the coffee vein. I'm just going to call that the coffee vein from now on. Mosquitoes are out. I guess they're due to spray again. We've been getting rain, and I hope your Monday is off to a good start. Maybe you're just getting up, and that's a good thing. Maybe you're just taking your first sip of coffee, and you're like, Mark, don't talk to me until after I have my coffee. Today we're going to talk about about failing and why being an expert at failing is a good thing. So if you're planning to fail this week, congrats. Me too. I'm planning to fail this week, and I think if we could just own it, that's probably the first step in winning your week, is actually owning that chances are there's going to be something that you fail at, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, that's a really, really good thing. So I'm going to first congratulate you ahead of time. I'm going to give you a preparatory congratulations for failing this week. And you're like, what? How is this encouraging, Mark? You're not being encouraging. You're telling me I'm going to fail this week. Yes, I'm going to say you're going to fail. And if you actually can own it, you're going to probably have something that you're going to fail at. It can be anything, right? It can be failing at, I know often I fail at parenting. I sometimes fail in my ability to stay undistracted and stay on focus. I fail at trying to eat as healthy as I want to. I often just go after some of the snacks, right? There's lots of things. I make poor decisions. I maybe speak out of lines, or maybe I don't think of the things that I say before I say them. What else? It could be anything. It could be anything. Maybe, I have the intentions to take time and do some reading and learning, and then I forget, and then, I failed again. So, how many things? You forget to brush your teeth in the morning? Hopefully not. Or put deodorant on, there's a fail, or somebody near you is going to fail when they smell you, whether it's your breath or your armpits. But I want to talk about, let's just get to it. Why being a failure is actually a good thing. And I would say there's so many things I can tell you in the course of my life that I failed at, so many. Maybe you've heard some of my stories before, but if you haven't, I won't get into all those. And chances are, if you've lived any period of life, that you've gone through failed attempts. And maybe you're failing right now at something. Maybe it's, as a fitness coach, I know a lot of people struggle with their health and trying to lose weight, trying to get fit. And I talked to several people. They're like, wow, I just failed. I've tried this diet. I've tried that diet. I've tried this workout. I've tried that. I've used this app. I've tried a trainer, all that, and failed. And if you haven't worked with me and you want to try something different, on a side note, that's what I do for a living. I'm an online fitness coach. I am the creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. Is specifically designed for busy moms and dads, men and women over 40 who are struggling to lose weight and get on a healthier path and do so. And I teach them how to do so without long workouts and impossible diets. Now, it's not just about weight loss. It's about keeping the weight off, about not having to diet anymore. But I don't want this to be all about that. Again, you already know, if you've listened to any of these daily doses, you should know by now that I'm an online fitness coach. And if you don't, reach out to me. I'll tell you more about it. But and I can tell you, even in my personal journey as a fitness coach, I failed so many times. I can tell you I've failed right from the beginning as a personal trainer. I'll never forget one of my first clients as a personal trainer back in the 90s, when I was it was like a 4-hour certification in personal training, and then 2 days later I'm training somebody. And I'll never forget, I think I had them on a Swiss ball, stability ball, one of those stability balls you see people sit on a desk, or they use them in the gym. And I'll never forget having somebody who had zero experience, and I had zero experience in training. And I had this gentleman on a wall doing squats up and down on a wall. And it was early morning. He wasn't an early morning person. And he passed out on me. I totally failed. He passed out on me. Literally, it was like one of my first, not my very first client, but he was one of my first clients. I'll never forget, a skinny guy. I worked at a community center, and the dude did 4 squats on this ball, and he passed out. And I was freaking out. So luckily he was at a community center and we had him. He was okay, but he didn't eat anything. He had some caffeine and he's never worked out. So the up and down. So it was a complete failure. And I can say from the past 25 years, now, of course, I've learned my lesson, but over the past 25 years, there's so many instances just in my own professional career as a fitness expert. I'm revealing to you that no, it wasn't perfect. It, in fact, was a series of failure after failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. 25 years, you think there was probably plenty of failures in that. And I don't know if you can feel me, whatever you're maybe failing at or what you're going to fail at this week, I'm going to say congrats. And I'm going to say congrats because that's part of the process. That's truly how you're succeeding. In fact, honestly, I'm going to tell you now that the success that I have with my students now who are choosing to work with me now, that are in my Lean Body Breakthrough Coaching Program, that have invested in themselves and a coach, what they invested in was past 25 years truly of failures, because what happened in those failures, I took to them. I learned from them. I learned from the experience. I gained knowledge on the things that I did right, maybe the things that I did wrong. I became resilient in realizing that there's a better way to do this. I refined it. I started to sharpen my skills. I got around and I grew in my profession. I got better at it and I get better at it. And guess what? When I started to get better at it, I was able to provide more value and there was less people passing out. In fact, more people were getting results. More people were getting success. And that's with anything in life. Sorry, that was a really cool butterfly that was back there somewhere. And that's truly the difference. You see, failure is honestly one of life's greatest teachers. One of life's greatest teachers. It hurts. Failing hurts. It sucks. I thought I was like, after that guy passed out on me, I thought that was it, man. My career as a personal trainer, I'm going to get sued. I'm never going to have this job again. And fortunately, that was 25 years ago. And guess what? I'm still doing it. I'm still working with people, helping them to get on a healthier path. So I failed my way to where I'm at right now. I'm just going to be completely transparent with you. Now, here's the thing. The problem that happens is not so much the failing. So if you're failing, if you failed this weekend, if you failed to stay on track during the weekend, it's okay. So long, listen. So long as you don't give up. So long as you don't give up. Keep failing. Keep failing forward. Keep failing. In fact, some of the best, you think of the best athletes, the best actors, the best businesses, they fail and fail and fail and fail over, and they get refined and they gain experience and they gain knowledge and you learn what to do, what not to do. And that's the difference. And now, trust me, I don't want you to fail. The reality is we all fail. We all have those. This would be like, how is this encouraging, Mark? I want to be encouraging to you because chances are you're going to fail at something this week. And I don't want it to get you down because then that's a terrible slope. Because you start getting down on yourself because you failed. Maybe you went out to lunch and you had a burger and fries. You're supposed to be eating, a good healthy source of protein, but not the French fries and not fried and greasy, right? And I want you not to say, hey, this is, I'm a victim here. I just, there's the fries and the burger and I just had to go. No, be victorious. Go through and learn from those mistakes and move forward. Learn, gain knowledge, gain experience, gain wisdom, get what you need, and then move forward so you can grow and become better at anything. It doesn't have to be your health. But here's the thing. I actually pulled up. This is really, really cool. J.K. Rowling said once, it is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all. Is that not the truth? In which case, you have failed by default. I'm going to read that again. That's so good. And J.K. Rowling says, so it is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all. In which case you have failed by default, right? So again, if you're not failing at anything, chances are you're probably not truly living. And I would say if you're living and you're finding you continue to fail, maybe you're failing at your health and maybe it's time to take a different path. But the fact of the matter is you didn't give up. And that's the worst, is that give up. Keep failing. You're going to be winning. Sooner or later, you fail, you get a little bit better. Think about this, weight loss. Maybe you've tried 100 diets. Maybe you tried 1,000 different gym memberships. Maybe over the course of the past years, you've tried everything and anything. In fact, if you were to go search weight loss and you have 450 million hits on weight loss on Google, you've tried them all. You've tried them all. But here's the deal. Keep going. Keep failing forward. That's actually not a bad thing. Well, obviously you don't want to fail as much as can. It can get you down. But as soon as you give up, then you're done. It's a difference between failing and that you failed. You fail when you stop. That's essentially it. So my encouragement to you this week is to embrace the failure. Like, embrace the failure. But learn from those, gain experience, gain knowledge, gain resilience, grow in those. And how to recover. Here's the thing. The hardest thing is people don't recover from failure. So I wrote a few things down. I want to give you 5 things to recover from your failure. Number 1, you got to ignore the naysayers. The people say, no, you can't do it. You failed before. You're never going to be successful. You never have a successful business. You're never going to be successful in that relationship. You're never going to succeed at your weight loss. Avoid the naysayers, and especially if you're one of your worst naysayers, if you're the one of the worst people putting those thoughts in mind, I'm a failure, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. Just keep failing, it's okay. Just stop calling yourself a failure, all right? Number 2, and this is again how to recover from failure, is understand that it's okay to fail. It's okay. You know what the problem is, and I think when I really embraced failure, it was the most freeing thing that I could have ever done. And I failed in so many, and not just business. I failed out of school. I failed out of college. I failed in relationship. Fortunately, I'm not failing in my current relationship, and that's been 18 years, 20 years going strong. And I figured out over time how not to fail. And I learned and I refined, and fortunately my wife and I being married for 20 years, it's been a blessing, but it's not easy. We fail on a regular basis. We argue, but we learn and we grow from each other and we get experience and we move forward, and we still fail. There's still failure. Relationships with my kids, it's hard. I'm a teenage parent. It sucks. They don't want to be around. You want to try to hang out with them. They're not as dependent on you, but then they are dependent. They are dependent on you for certain things like money. Give me some money, and oh my gosh, trying to get them to do chores. It's hard, but just understand it's okay to fail. That's number 2. Realize that it's not just understand, but realize that it's okay to fail. And we all fail. Everybody fails. In fact, if you're just looking at people, the problem with society and the world is that we're all chasing after success. We give so much praise to the success. Congratulations. And don't get me wrong, I fall victim to that too. It's like look, check this out. Here. There's my tower garden. I shared that with you, right? So I shared that with you yesterday. I shared a video on my tower. Now it wasn't hard to put together, and it was literally it's literally step by step. But you know what? I did the quick video. If you haven't seen it, was yesterday. My tower garden. I'm going to grow some vegetables in the backyard, right? Look, it's so green back here. How can I not grow some vegetables? So we're going to grow some lettuce and herbs and things like that. But I want to tell you, when I was putting this thing together, when I was putting this tower garden together, I messed it up. Now, it only took me about 30 minutes, but it should only took me about 10 minutes. And I messed it up. I put the towers in, and I'm like, oh, it said A. Literally, it was A, B, A, B. And I went like B, A, B, A, and I got to the top, and it didn't fit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this thing broken? So I had to put it together. I failed. But you know what? I didn't stop. I didn't just quit. I took it apart, put it back together, and I was on camera. And unfortunately, if you go back and look at it now, you'll see I put the tower up, I took the tower down, and I put it back up, and it was really, really funny. So I would say is realize that it's okay to fail. As soon as you realize it's okay to fail, it's so freeing. I can't tell you enough. Again, but how do you move beyond failure? And after, I'm going to tell you the recovery from failure. Use failure as leverage. Use the failure as leverage moving forward in the things that you're going to learn how to do better next time. And then revisit those goals. Revisit what it is you're trying to get, why you failed, and what it is you're trying to reach, and how you're going about that process. And then the biggest thing, the most important thing, is to actually create a master plan so that the next time you grow and learn from your mistakes, and hopefully you don't fail at the same exact thing you maybe failed at before. That's part of life. That's part of growth. That's how we all grow as humans, how this world grows. We learn from our mistakes and move on, hopefully, right? In an ideal world. Now, what does achieving your goals look like? It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes skill. Think about it like this. Here's the thing. Think about this when you're a baby. Hey, Dali, I think. Sorry, Tina, and good morning. Good morning. Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Dominga. So here's what I want to share with you is think about this as a baby. We learn how to fail right at the day we start to learn how to walk, right? When we're little babies. And if you think back to when you were a little baby, of course you don't remember it, but I guarantee you, and if you've had babies and kids, and we've had two, and I'll never forget when our kids started to move and they started to roll and they started to crawl and they started to walk, they'd fall down. They'd fall down, and then guess what? They got back up, and then they'd fall down, and they'd crawl, and they'd go over to like a piece of furniture, crawl over to that, climb up, fall down. Oh, that's okay. You're doing so good. you know, and then you praise them because they're walking at such a young age, which really isn't necessarily a good thing because you want them to develop those crawling skills. That's a whole nother subject. But then they fall down and they walk, and same thing with riding a bike. They fall over, ride a bike, surfing. I taught my kids how to surf and got out there. They fall, they crash, they wipe out. It's called wipe out in surfing. And it's okay to wipe out in life as long as you don't stop, as long as you continue. And think about when we were little babies and we were learning how to walk for the very first time. We started to learn how to walk. And then we were able to walk. And guess what? We learned how to get our balance, and we grew, and we got experience. We knew what didn't work and what worked. And we started to build those hard wires. And that's my encouragement to you, is to embrace the failure this week. Embrace it. You're going to fail. Just go through it knowing that your chances are going to fail at least. I fail at least a dozen times, probably every day, definitely every week. But I'm embracing those and then just learning how to grow truly to become successful, the things I want to be successful in. And that's my encouragement to you on this Monday. I hope you have a blessed day. Listen, if this was encouraging to you, all I ask, I failed on here live. I just failed this morning trying to get on here live at 8. It didn't go on. It came off and it went back on and it got off, and I literally failed. But you know what? I didn't stop because I knew you were waiting for me, and I do appreciate the time you listened to me. I hope this was valuable for you. I hope that if you're feeling like a failure, that just know that that's normal. Just continue to go through and continue to work through those failures. And if you're failing at your health, if you're failing at losing weight, if you continue to suck, if you've been really failing at it for a while and you need help, reach out to me. We'll take a look at where you're failing. We'll look at what you're trying to achieve, and we'll see if we'd be a good fit to work together. That's pretty much it. I hope you have an amazing, blessed day. Take care, and we'll talk soon. We'll see you.